Camp Butner hosts the CMP Eastern Games at the end of April and the start of May each year. It is one of my favorite ranges, not only for the range itself, but also because of the range area and camping areas that promote the camaraderie and spending some time with the people we know and see at each match. You can participate on the Garand Springfield and Vintage Rifle match, and you can dress up for the occasion, or you can simply may not. You always get a good laugh with the crowd when you do. After such a great time at the range, you can go and eat at El Rio Mexican restaurant. Cold beer awaits you. You just tell the guys that you're from the CMP and that Oli from Puerto Rico sent you, and then ask them to charge the beers on his tab. After, you can also have a short drive to the city of Durham. In Durham, you can go by and take a look at the Durham Bulls Park. They are part of a AAA minor league. You might remember the 1988 movie The Bull Durham with Kevin Costner and Susan Sarandon, which made this place quite famous at that time. You can also go to the tobacco district within Durham. That was an industrial compound where tobacco was processed and now is converted into a tourist attraction. All the big names in tobacco used to be there. If you recognize the cigarette brand names Chesterfield and Lucky Strike, you're at least as old as I am. There are many cafes and various amenities. There's a lot of nice places to rest and walk through. There's live music sometimes at the square and many restaurants to choose from. You can also take a 10-minute trip to Bennett's Place. We all know about General Lee's surrender at Appomattox, but here, near Butner, is where General Johnston surrendered 90,000 troops to Sherman. It was the end of the Confederacy, but it was also the start of the reunification of the United States. So, it's a very profound place to visit and a great place to think about what it means to be an American. The date of the surrender coincides with the CMP Games, so you can plan to attend the yearly special activities on the museum. They do a lot of demonstrations and the people dress in the era attire, explaining the life at the times and what happened during the meeting of the generals. Sometimes there are musket shooting demonstrations and the like. If you are in the mood for a longer drive, you can go down to Fayetteville to Fort Bragg. That's the home of the 82nd Division of the U.S. Army and of the 82nd Airborne Division War Memorial Museum. The story of the 82nd Division is basically the history of the U.S. Army since the 20th century. Actually, they were in France in World War I. During World War II, they were all over Europe and North Africa. Since then, they have participated in almost every U.S. Army action, including the Middle Eastern wars. One of the surprise pieces was the front part section of a CG-15 glider. You have to be there to appreciate how fragile these things look. For small arm junkies, this is the place to see many types of historic rifles and handguns. Outside, you'll find a display of airplanes from World War II and beyond. Another short trip from Butner can get you into the historic Stackville. It is a quiet and solemn place to visit. Stackville was a big plantation, the biggest in North Carolina by 1860. About 900 enslaved people worked there. The slave quarters offer a rare opportunity into the past. There are very few in the USA still standing. The main house is also conserved. Don't forget to visit the family cemetery. This site brings a new understanding about the history of slavery. It is a site of conscience as described by the North Carolina Division of State Historic Sites. And of course, there are many interesting lakes and river parks all around Butner. Most of all, take time to have fun. See you there.